At first glance, he seems like Mr. Absolutely Right. He sweeps you off your cynical feet with nice dinners, roses, thoughtful gestures. You want to introduce him to your mom. But before you fall hook, line, and sinker, stop. He could be one of these 7 dating mistakes. Some men are master anglers. Once you're hooked, you'll invest your love, soul, money, and possibly valued childbearing years before realizing, too late, they don't do happily ever after. In the end, they'll break your heart, shatter your ego, and frustrate the heck out of you. Though these bad boys may be hard to spot, they send out subtle clues that they're relationship kryptonite. In this video, we'll go through some types of men to avoid. 1. Mr. Perennial Bachelor. This guy's well-mannered, smart, attractive, witty, successful, and his eyes melt you like ice cream in July. You can't believe that some woman hasn't walked him down the aisle long ago. Even if you approach him with caution, his charm and persistence will win you over. Then, just when you start considering whether to take his name or hyphenate, he'll peel out of the relationship faster than a NASCAR driver, leaving skid marks on your heart. How he'll lure you in. Ask about his perpetual bachelorhood and he'll tell you he just hasn't found Mr. Right yet. The unspoken suggestion? You could be her. But dating Mr. Perennial Bachelor is a fool's journey because there is no right woman and never will be. Women always think, I'll be the one, but if no one has been right, you probably won't be either. 2. Mr. Merry-Go-Round. Unlike Mr. Perennial Bachelor, this guy's all about getting married. Unfortunately, he treats marriage like a luxury car lease, and you can be sure that in a few years he'll be ready to trade you in for a newer model. The relationship is over when the romance is gone. Mr. Merry-Go-Round hasn't figured out that all passion cools naturally, and when his does, he'll blame you. He'll say, you weren't the right one because when I find the right one, I'll stay in this infatuated euphoria forever. How he'll lure you in. He's a virtuoso romancer, so dating him is like being on a permanent honeymoon. Plus, the fact that he's been married before suggests that he's not afraid of commitment. If you've been dating men who can't even whisper the M word, someone who's practically sprinting down the aisle and introducing you as the future Mrs. So-and-so is certainly seductive. 3. Mr. No Moneybags. He's counting on you to keep him in the style to which he hopes to become accustomed. He looks for the financially well-off woman so he can mooch off her. How he'll lure you in. He'll play on your natural affinity for nurturing and caretaking. It's like stumbling onto a beautiful, crumbling Victorian house. You'll see past the sagging floors and peeling paint and envision how magnificent it could be. You'll figure a little investment will pay off big for both of you. Besides, what's a little money when he's the man of your dreams? 4. Mr. Mama's Boy. He's sweet, affectionate, and understanding. Unfortunately, he's still hung up on another woman, his mother. Mom still influences his professional decisions, his investment portfolio, where he lives, who he votes for. Project into the future and you can count on her influencing everything, from where you buy a home to how you raise your children. And if you push him to choose sides, guess who loses? Yep, that would be you. How he'll lure you in. Any man who loves his mother will know how to treat a woman, right? If you've been involved with guys who've been great in romancing you but haven't had an emotional connection, and then you meet someone who cares about how women feel, that can be really attractive. 5. Mr. Peter Pan Syndrome. Though he's in his 30s and 40s, at heart, Mr. Peter Pan Syndrome is still a frat boy. Life's a non-stop movable kegger and he's the affable host. He's on a first-name basis with all the bartenders in town, thinks 401k refers to computer stuff, and is always ready for a trip to Las Vegas. But if you run into hard times, say you're in a serious car accident or you lose your job, he'll be way out of his depth. Difficult situations aren't in his repertoire, and when the going gets tough, you'll be going it alone. How he'll lure you in. His spontaneity and sense of adventure bring out the kid in you. He's the one who persuades you to go parasailing in Cancun or ditch work for an afternoon at the ballpark. 6. Mr. Egomaniac. He's brilliant, accomplished, and has an unflagging belief in his own infallibility. You never see him waffling or agonizing about a decision. He's extremely decisive because the world revolves around him. On the rare occasion when he's not 100% right, he won't take it well if you point it out. He may want an accomplished woman, but not one so successful that you eclipse his glory. He may even undercut your success. He might embarrass you at an office party or run you down in front of colleagues in the guise of being funny. When you complain, he'll accuse you of being too sensitive. How he'll lure you in. His confidence is irresistible. He's got that Clint Eastwood, John Wayne macho inner strength that's really appealing. 7. Mr. Control Freak. Going out with this man is like dating a boa constrictor. At first, he may seem warm and secure, but before long, you'll be suffocating. It'll start out with going to the restaurants he chooses, seeing the movies he picks, hanging out with his friends. But eventually, he tries to dictate everything from what you wear to how you spend your free time. He's trying to get you to be who you're not. One day you wake up and you're like, where did I go? I don't even know what I like to eat anymore. How he'll lure you in. All this attention is certainly flattering. After all, he must really love you if he's so concerned about you, takes such care of you, and wants to be with you all the time, right? You may not realize it, but your behavior on a single date could be what's keeping you from landing another. Women are often frustrated by men who have no idea how to treat them properly, and once they've dealt with one or two of these guys, they often make mental notes to avoid similar ones in the future.